Shinobi Striker has a big problem, and no matter how many people talk about it or report it, nothing seems to be done to fix it. I'm talking of course about hackers and modders in-game. The first 3 seasons of Shinobi Striker DLC were mostly hacker-free, but for some reason now in Season 4, hackers are just everywhere, especially on PlayStation, the platform with the biggest player base, and theoretically the hardest one to hack. And the reason why there are so many is because to get a hacked account, all you need to do is buy it. They're everywhere on YouTube. Literally, just search for Shinobi Striker free mod, and you can find all these videos that are not only showcasing the mods themselves, you look in the description and they all got links where you can just buy these mods. So you could literally know nothing about modding. As long as you have money, you can just buy one of these save files. All the hackers you see in game are just people with way too much money for their own good. They looked at their income and said, what could I do with this spare money? I know, I'm gonna buy a modded save for Naruto Shinobi Striker out of all the games. And it's purely for griefing or for some power fantasy, because these same mods, they can unlock every item that you can get in Ninja World League. So it's not even to grind ranked, it's just to grief players. And it's pretty funny because most of the modders that we find online are not that good at the game. I've got so many clips and reports of people who are playing against modders and they either win or they get some pretty close calls. I find that hilarious. But yeah, these people, they're just the customers. They have no idea how to mod or hack the game. The real problem is the people who are selling them. And I think enough people have been complaining about this issue for months that it's honestly surprising to see no action taken against this. Especially since it's not only hurting the game's reputation, it's also hurting their wallet, because mods like this literally unlock everything that you can get with Moonlight Scrolls and such. And on top of that, the modders themselves are making thousands of dollars selling these exploits. In this video, however, I didn't want to just highlight the problem and tell you where it's coming from. I also wanted to provide some solutions. Solutions that have actually been pitched to Bandai Namco, but the poor PR person that heard them gave the most PR answer possible and just shoved the issue away. And that's why, inspired by Afro Senju's hashtag #FixStorm4, I'd love it if you guys could get hashtag #FixShinobiStriker trending. Back then, Afro was asking for a spectator mode, and we got a spectator mode for Storm 4. This is a much more serious issue. This is blatant cheating done publicly right under the nose of Bandai Namco and Soleil. I mean, just look at the in-game leaderboards. Does this look like a legit player to you? And all our messages have been ignored. So hashtag #FixShinobiStriker, let's get loud enough to the point where it cannot be ignored. Every time they post about some upcoming DLC, hashtag #FixShinobiStriker. Literally do not care about updates until this thing gets fixed. I think that's how we get the message across. And fellow content creators, if you want to make a video on this and, you know, spread the word to your own audience too, all the clips of people running into mods and getting killed instantly or whatever, feel free to take them and use them for your own video. Make sure to mute my voice, add your own commentary, make it your own, but if you just want to show the glitches, you don't have to go out there and hunt for them. Literally steal it from this video. You have my permission. Now, personally, I've only run into 2 modders in my playtime, but both of them happened after Season 4 was released. I reported the first one on Twitter since the game has no in-game report system, and that message got thoroughly ignored, just like the countless messages that you guys have sent. It's undeniable that modders are very common in the game now, but they are a lot more common in the US, which means during my normal playtime hours, they're probably asleep. And that's why I asked the folks on Discord to send me videos if they happen to run into a hacker, and within a week, I got so many clips. But if you need further proof that this is a real issue, just go on Reddit. People have been putting together a bingo book with hacker names, and they're still adding more as people find them. You search for modders in the subreddit, and you look at the recent posts, and there you go, 10 hours ago. Another modder, 11 hours ago. Here's a video from 12 hours ago, where the guy gets spammed with the sleeping ultimate. And as I'm recording this video, the United States is probably still asleep. There will be more posts tomorrow. But what is happening here exactly? How does it work and how do we fix it? Someone from my Discord offered to explain the whole thing. They figured out how the modding works, where people are selling it, and also how to fix it. So first of all, thank you so much for sharing all that info. My source also sent this info to Bandai Namco trying to reach out and even offered to fix it for free, because all they want is to play the game. And they actually have a fix ready to go, but what they cannot do is issue a worldwide patch to all the Shinobi Striker copies in the world. I'm gonna give you guys a brief summary of how this whole thing works, how to fix it, but Bandai, if you're watching and you would like more details, you know how to reach me. I'll share all the info that I have for free, because really all I want is this game fixed. Even though hackers are common now in Season 4, the mods can happen because of how the game was built back in Season 1. On PlayStation, your loadouts are stored locally, which is what makes it so easy to hack. You just change your save file and you've got some busted loadouts. Some ultimates like Insect Jamming, Water Rosary, Deep Forest Emergence, and others are able to be equipped as regular jutsu. This creates a few problems. First of all, ultimates in-game don't have cooldowns. They charge over time as you play the game. So if you equip them on a normal jutsu slot, which doesn't fill over time, it still doesn't have a cooldown, so you can spam them as many times as you'd like. And second, because they are an ultimate jutsu, when you activate them, the game also tries to activate whatever ultimate you have equipped, even if it is not fully charged. Now, modders usually prefer running Insect Jamming because it's an ultimate that you can activate mid-air, so by equipping that on your jutsu slot, you're able to activate your ultimate wherever you are. And not all ultimates work like this. Some are a bit weirder, like Totsuka Blade, for instance. This is actually a fully functioning jutsu with an actual cooldown, which means devs might have considered that to be just a normal jutsu at some point. That was just gonna be something Itachi taught you that you put on your R1 button. Sakura's ultimate also works differently, and this is the most popular build by modders. Sakura's ultimate actually heals, revives teammates, it does everything that it usually does, except it's on a jutsu slot instead of an ultimate. And in addition to that, it also activates Hinata's ultimate. Not the animation itself, but the damage and the effects. And that triggers when the player gets closer to an opponent. Now, Hinata's ultimate doesn't kill because it doesn't deal a lot of damage, but what you can do is keep stacking ultimates. By doing this process over and over, you are stacking Hinata's ultimate and basically unleashing 3 or 4 versions of that ultimate at the same time. You're one-shotting everyone and resetting their ult charge. This is by far the most popular modder build. There are some other variants on modded loadouts, but the root of the issue is the same. Ultimates can be equipped as normal jutsu, and save files, the loadouts, are stored locally on PlayStation. And the game doesn't check if your game files were modified whenever you log in, and that is a massive oversight. As a result, you have so many modders, so many people with Discord servers selling these mods. Here are some of the prices. It's there. You can literally just buy this stuff. There are thousands of dollars in this business. I know because my source has actually shut a few of them down. They use PayPal for these transactions, and they ask you to transfer the money, not as a business, but as friends and family, which is illegal according to PayPal's terms of service, and that's how they managed to get some of them shut down. But why does this vigilante have to do the work? It should be fixed by the developer and publisher, not by us. And there are a few methods to fix this. Some are a bit more convoluted, but others are actually quite simple. You could create a whole reporting system, and I guarantee you that all the modders will get reported en masse, so they'd be pretty easy to spot. And then you take action, ban those accounts. They spent money on the mods and now they can't even play the game. Serves them right. But creating a system like that for a game that wasn't built for it can be a lot of work. You can also fix the issue at its roots. Go into the game's code, make it so that ultimates cannot be equipped as regular jutsu. But once again, that is digging into their Season 1 code, fixing jutsu one by one, and who knows if that will create new bugs. At this point, Shinobi Striker probably isn't running with a full team anymore. They probably have a skeleton crew that pushes updates and new DLC, and most of the folks that worked on Season 1 have now moved on to other projects. So this solution can probably be quite hard as well, even though this would be probably the cleanest fix. But here's a solution that's not so hard. Make the game check for modded saves. They are not hard to spot, so you run a check on every player as they log in. And if you detect modding, just shoot up a message that says, "We've detected some irregularities in your save file. As such, your loadouts have been reset to default. We apologize for the inconvenience." And when they check their loadouts, they've all been reset to the default loadouts that you get when you first launch the game. You have successfully altered their save file back to a legal one, and you've prevented a modded account to enter online matchmaking. And I'm not just guessing that this is an easy solution. I know it, because my source that showed me all this behind the scenes stuff is able to do it in a day. One day. What they cannot do is roll it out in a patch for everyone, and that's maybe the most frustrating part of all of this. There's a solution, and it's ready to be implemented, and it could be in the game tomorrow and rolled out in a patch next week. But instead, it's been months since this became a real problem, and we're not even getting acknowledgement from Bandai or Soleil that this problem exists. Not even a tweet saying, "Hey, we've heard your reports, the team is working on a solution." Nothing. They are just straight up ignoring the fanbase. So yeah, this has to change. Hashtag fix Shinobi Striker. Put it on Twitter, put it out everywhere. Let's get their attention, because at the end of the day, all we want to do is play the damn game. I want to give you more money with DLC and stuff. Just let me play your game without modders. But as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye.